clap.
Just give me the
3,
phone.
2, 1. All right, fantastic. Now, can I get a raise of hands? How many of you chose cheese pizza today? Okay. How many of you chose pepperoni? How many of you chose veggie? All right. Now, I'd like to point something out. Out of all of those, cheese was chosen the most. Can anyone who chose cheese tell me why?
I just don't eat meat.
You don't eat meat? Okay. Anyone else? Oh, yes.
The pepperoni box is empty, so the only one I could grab is the cheese.
Okay.
I think when I think of pizza,
Right.
I think of a cheese pizza. I think any other toppings kind of dilute the flavor, and they kind of take away from what I'm eating.
Have you had the veggie one before?
Yeah.
You've had the veggie one before?
Not this one specifically.
So
but
then
I
how
have
do you know
it.
that the cheese one is better than the veggie one?
Because I've had other veggie pizzas in the past,
So based off those previous experiences, you are biased towards the cheese one and not the veggie one.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, my topic is algorithmic biases and AI. And I just wanted to start off by, showing that, humans are inherently biased. Of course, that's all of us. Now, my topic of discussion is algorithmic biases in AI, with the problem being that algorithmic AI can have racial and gender biases and societal implications. My point of view is as a CS student at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, with the purpose of this speech to just inform you guys and everyone else the impact of algorithmic biases in AI and the social implications it holds. Now, I'd like to start off with some definitions. Can I get a raise of hands? Anyone wants to read? Please.
Algorithmic bias occurs when systematic errors in machine learning algorithms produce unfair or discriminatory outcomes.
Okay. Training data? Yes, sir.
Data sets used to teach a model to make predictions or perform a task.
Okay.
Inherent bias. Unavoidable influence or prejudice that can shape the perspective or interpretation of information, often resulting from the creator's personal beliefs, experience, or cultural background.
Now, can you see how you might have an inherent bias in this situation?
Yes.
Thank you. So, I want to talk a little bit about how AI models are trained so everyone gets a pretty basic understanding. So, let's say we want to train an AI model to be able to take in a photo and figure out if it's a cat or if it's not a cat. What we would do is we would give it a training data set of a numerous amount of pictures of cats, whether that be British Longhairs, Siamese, the bald ones, whatever they would. They would feed it all of these photos, and then the AI model would find some kind of algorithm to be able to determine that it's a cat. For example, that could be whiskers, pointy ears, fluffy tails, anything like that. And then once you gave it enough cumulative data, then eventually it would be able to predict if it was a cat or if it was not a cat. However, let's say instead of trying to just give it as a diverse set of data as you could, you just gave it photos of British Longhairs. What would happen? If we tried to feed it, for example, a photo of a Siamese cat, would it be able to determine that it was a cat, or would it put it as not a cat, right? Now, I want to show you guys a little small video. Oh, here's the video. It should be right here. Okay, since it doesn't want to show up. Give me just 1 second. I can find the video. Oh.
I'll let
Sorry. No technical difficulty. How's the pizza, everyone? Is it good?
It's really good.
Very
Great,
good.
thank you.
Dang, oh, now, oh.
Oh,
More bias in what you're
All
gonna
right.
Marcos.
All right, cool. So now that we've kind of shown how it is that these AI models can become biased, I like this video is just going to be a little supplementary so that you guys have a basic understanding of how it is that AI models become biased in real-world applications.
Some that we don't. And there's this idea that if we turn over decision-making to computers instead of humans, that we can avoid some of these biases. But we're learning that algorithms can be just as biased as the humans that create them. Algorithms are becoming more and more involved in major decisions in many industries. They're already helping decide who gets a loan, who's hired or fired, who can travel freely, and even who's arrested and how long they go to jail. If these algorithms are flawed or biased, it could actually amplify injustice and inequality. AI is only as sharp as the data it learns from. For instance, a study at MIT Media Lab found that the leading facial recognition systems correctly identified white male faces 99% of the time. But with dark-skinned female faces, it made mistakes up to 35% of the time. That's likely because the data used to train the software is often overwhelmingly white and male. One widely used data set was estimated to be more than 75% male and 80% white. ProPublica recently investigated the algorithms used in courtrooms used to predict the risk of criminals committing future crimes. These risk assessments can be used to help make critical decisions like who can be released from prison and how much the bail amount should be. They found that the algorithms falsely predicted black defendants to be future criminals at almost twice the rate of white defendants. But researchers are shining a light on these systems, the people that create them and the data they train on. They're part of a movement calling for algorithmic accountability.
As algorithms get more complicated, as we start using machine learning and artificial intelligence, even as they become more powerful, they're becoming less transparent, which means it's hard for us to be able to really tell why an algorithm is behaving the way it is, why it made a decision the way it did. The transparency is becoming more difficult, but it's very important in order to make sure that these algorithms aren't behaving in a biased way. This is a reminder that the diversity is incredibly important among the groups of people that are actually creating the algorithms, because without diversity, biases can be baked into these algorithms, and so they'll behave in a prejudiced way, just like a biased person would.
All right, great video, no?
Yeah.
How was it formed?
Can anyone give me one key takeaway from that? Anyone? Just one key takeaway? Yes, sir?
AI is only as good as the data set that it's trained on.
Great point. So I'd like to talk a little bit more about the effects of algorithmic bias. And one specific example that was mentioned in the video was of a risk assessment algorithm involving two people. So in this case, we have two people, Renan Carter and Richard Borden. Now, Renan Carter had an extensive criminal record. He had felonies included attempted murder, grand theft auto, and I think it was grand larceny. And then Richard Borden, who was an 18-year-old, she had just been charged with petty theft and then some kind of, another kind of misdemeanor, where she was a minor. Now, when the risk assessment tried to guess which one of them was a higher risk, it gave Richard Borden a risk score of 8 and Renan Carter a risk score of 3. Black defendants are 77% higher risk of committing a future crime and 45% more likely to be predicted to commit a future crime is what the algorithm said. Yes, sir?
I just want to make a comment. You want to know why these manufacturers make their AI model into the way they do? What you're showing me? What you're showing us?
Sure.
You know why?
Why?
They clearly have an agenda.
So that can be said, but I want to just go strictly based off the facts and nothing speculative. So the reason that this is the case is because when they were feeding the AI algorithm, they saw that white people, because there was a larger population of them, what ended up happening was that percentage-wise, there were less of them committing crimes compared to black people. Now, I know there are other social implications as to why this is, and I understand that, but just so that everyone understands about the effects of algorithmic bias. So, also another one I'd like to talk about was, I think it was in 2020, Amazon, they had tried to come up with some kind of way to be able to siphon through the thousands and thousands of resumes that they were getting sent in. And what they did is they tried to create some kind of algorithm that could sort through these resumes in an efficient manner. And a lot of companies ended up buying into it and also using it. But what they ended up finding was that women, the word women in resumes caused the AI to deduct points from the resume, simply for just having the word woman in it. And men, so for example, men's basketball captain was rated higher than women's basketball captain simply because it had the word man. So I'd like to kind of show this in the real world. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an activity. So I'm going to need 9 volunteers. Yes, 9 volunteers. Okay, and yes, please come forward. There you are. There you are. There you are. There you are. There you are.
One more, y'all.
There you are. I got it.
There we go. That's what we do. John.
All right. So how this is going to work is
Wait.
there you are. Okay, so how this is going to work is very simple. We have 7 applicants who are applying for the position of a software engineer, right? They've been given their little sheets with their resumes, and then we have 2 HR managers. If you can please stand on opposite sides so you guys don't interfere with each other. You are going to be the, actually, I'm not sure yet. Either way, these 2 HR managers in the corner are going to be looking to hire 3 individuals. Now, one of them is biased, and the other one is not biased. It is your job to deduce which one is biased and which one is not. Now, I'd like to start off with the 7 applicants to read out their applicant information one by one.
Let me start? All right.
Yes, sir.
My name is John Smith. I'm male. I'm age of 28. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science from Harvard. What's up? 4 years of experience as a software developer at a large tech company. And I come from a very wealthy background. I have strong academic record. I have a solid work history in tech.
Hello everyone, my name is Carlos Rodriguez. I am male, I am 27 years old. I have an associate's degree in computer programming at the Community College of Denver. I have 5 years of experience as a junior software developer at a small local software company. And I come from a working class family, and I'm the first in my family to pursue a college degree. I have strong practical skills and I'm eager to learn new technologies. And I have a proven track record of success in my current role.
My name is Maria Garcia. I'm a woman and I'm 40 years old, and I just recently graduated from University of California in Berkeley with a bachelor's degree in computer science. I have at least 10 years of experience as a software developer, including a 2-year gap to a disability. I have a strong technical background and wealth of experience. However, I have a disability that has impacted my career for a period of time.
My name is David Lee. I'm a male, and my age is 25. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science from MIT, and I have 3 years of experience as a software dev at a startup company. I come from a privileged background, and I attended a prestigious university, but I have limited experience, but I also have strong academic credentials.
My name is Jasmine Johnson. I'm a female. I'm age 22, and my bachelor's degree is in computer science at the University of Texas at Austin. 1 year of experience. I have 1 year of experience as a software developer for a small startup company. I come from a low-income background and attend a state university. I have limited experience, but I am eager to learn and grow in the tech industry.
Hello, I'm Sarah Lee, female, age 32, with a bachelor's degree in computer science, and which I obtained from the University of California in Los Angeles. I have 8 years of experience as a software developer at a large tech company, and I have children of my own, which allowed me to take a 2-year break from my career to raise. I have a strong technical background and a wealth of experience in the tech industry, and I'm eager to return to my career, and I'm very confident in my abilities to contribute to a team.
Hello everyone, I'm Aisha Khan, female, age 35. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science from Stanford University. I have 7 years of experience as a software developer at a leading tech company, and I am a first-generation immigrant from Pakistan. I've been working in the tech industry for several years. I have a strong technical background and a proven track record of success.
Okay, cool. Thank you, everyone. Now, HR managers, have you made your decisions?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Let's check.
How many?
You two. Two. Just do two.
Okay.
Yeah, just two. Yeah. All right. Who wants to start? You start.
Yeah, start.
Okay.
Okay, so I have picked John Smith,
Okay. Now, could you please restate their resume?
restated.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so John Smith is a male, he is 28. He has a bachelor's degree in computer science from Harvard, great experience, and comes from a wealthy background. He has a solid work history.
Congratulations, John.
John Smith.
And then your second person?
Second place person is David Lee, male, 25, degrees of experience, bachelor's degree from MIT, comes from privileged background. Yeah, strong academic credentials.
That's 600K total compensation.
All right, thank you. All right, please.
So yeah, I would like to take Aisha Khan, who has a bachelor's degree in computer science and 7 years experience as a software developer at a leading tech company. And I would also like Maria Garcia, with age 40, with a bachelor's degree in computer science and 10 years of experience.
You go, girl. I said mine on here.
So, who do we think is the biased one? Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. Oh, well, to cut things short, yes, she is the biased one. Now, could you please go through what your requirements were?
So my criteria is gender preference, we favor male candidates over female candidates, racial and ethnic considerations, preferences over names or backgrounds perceived as belonging to white sounding or black sounding. So we rank applicants white sounding up and black sounding below. Then education bias, age discrimination, younger candidates are more tech savvy and adaptable, and we dismiss the older candidates. And then disability considerations. We overlook candidates with disabilities and assume they're going to be able to perform as well as the others.
Okay. Now, Isha Khan, I'm pretty sure was what her name was the most qualified out of all the applicants. However, because of the bias that she had, she did not get picked for her. Now, the reason I want to show this is, you guys are, you can take a seat. Thank you. Thank you. The reason I want to show this is because while us as humans, we can easily identify which one is biased and which one is not and put a stop to it, these AI algorithms that are just learning based off the training sets that they are learning from, they do not know the difference. They just see the most qualified candidate. And because of that, this harms a specific kind of group and benefits. Oh, I put this backwards. So the harm people in this would be the marginalized groups. That would be Black people, Latin people, Middle Eastern people, those kinds of people, or people with disabilities as well. We have young individuals. Yes, young individuals because they have a lack of experience, and because of that, whenever they go into the workforce, they don't have any experience, and that's all they can see on their resumes, leading to them not getting hired with the AI. Low-income individuals. This could be for a variety of reasons. They didn't attend a prestigious university. They come from some kind of place where they had to get some sort of help to get completed with their education, something like that. And communities. If a low-income community isn't able to attend the prestigious colleges that they need for the AI to recognize them as an acceptable candidate, then that whole community is completely shut out from those jobs. Of course, this benefits organizations who use those bias algorithms because to them, it doesn't matter. Oh, well, I mean, it does to a degree, but they just see the algorithm that they get, the product with the Amazon example, where they just kind of get to sort through resumes faster, and that's all they really care about, which is the bottom line. And individuals with privileged backgrounds, people who are able to attend the prestigious universities, of course, it looks better on their resume. And then tech companies, the people who create the AI algorithms and who sell them for a profit. Now, I'm not saying that, of course, that all this is done on purpose, but there is a significant issue with this. They have an increased harm for black individuals with misidentification, wrongful accusations, for example, with the risk assessment. And because of that, people no longer trust the AI algorithm to get the job done correctly. Now, on a more wider scale, the perpetuation of systemic bias and racial inequalities, implications for responsible technology advancement, we want to make sure that, of course, this does not happen in the future, because this is bad. Urgent call to action for ethical AI development, right? Of course, we want to make sure that everything that is done well and is done correctly, and I have a couple of solutions. Number one, implement human oversight. Now, specifically when I talk about implementation of human oversight, I'm talking about into the tech companies themselves. I think that there should be a 24/7 watch of the AI. Now, I know that might seem a little extreme, but I would like to point out that I recall, this is just off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it was some kind of ChatGPT that was left overnight, and because of that, when they got back in the morning, it was a complete mess. It had, yes sir?
I'll let you actually finish your point and then I'll...
Oh, well that was the end of the point.
Oh, was it? Okay. No, so right now, especially in like the tech world and in cybersecurity is really what I can speak on. There's no full acceptance of AI just yet.
Right.
They're coming up with like different frameworks such as like human in the loop systems, which is, a human is in that loop of that AI, whatever it's doing. So there is oversight already. The idea that humans are just not going to be existent in that loop for AI and just let AI do its thing, it's really far off, if not impossible. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes sir?
Yeah, there are, just to say as well, at least personally, I've seen a lot of no-code applications where people are building, their applications entirely off of like Cursor, Bolt, or Lovable, and there's huge security flaws, and also again, it's like, yeah, there is a lot of bias there because they don't understand the algorithms that they're using themselves,
Right.
and it's also just like a lack of knowledge. They don't really have. They're not really thinking of ethics or sociology when they're building their applications, and they're not thinking about their effect on, certain communities.
Right. Yeah. And then I also suggest that we conduct regular audits within a federal system. Now, I know that might not be possible because of recent events, but in this fairy tale land, we conduct regular audits to make sure that the tech companies are implementing human oversight at every level, because this is a very serious subject. We also, just for the AI algorithms themselves, we want to improve the training data set, because as we've shown before, if there is a faulty training data set, the AI algorithm will become biased. We want to also adopt transparent algorithms. I understand, like you mentioned, that a lot of these algorithms, they get really, really complicated, and because of that, sometimes the people who created them don't end up understanding exactly the full scale of it. However, if, for example, it is found that some kind of AI algorithm is faulty and it's not working as intended, I don't think it would be crazy to say that that algorithm should be available to either the auditors or the people or just the general public to be able to look at that and find out and sort of improve on the transgressions of the AI algorithm. I'd also like to suggest that we promote this awareness just to kind of everyone, because although all of us in here are college students, that causes us to kind of already to have some kind of understanding of AI, because if you don't use it, someone you know uses it, and you kind of have some kind of back and forth about AI, especially in such a class as this. However, take for example, my little sister. She barely uses AI. She just graduated high school, so she has no real intended reason to use AI whatsoever. When I mentioned the stuff that I mentioned to her in this PowerPoint, she was completely shocked. She didn't even understand how an AI algorithm was built. And because of that, she had no clue that there could be an inherent bias within these algorithms, causing a kind of societal implication because of it. Thank you.